Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. I'm on the test server. I'm able to showcase some new champions, and there's also the buffed 2 legendaries are active now on the test server as well. So I'm showing you this like maybe about a week before the patch is due. So I'm going to do a video on, I guess, just checking out both of the new buffed legendaries separate to this. Before we carry on, I do need to call out a huge Fateless video that is dropping today. Loads of stuff in this. We're dropping the actual game name. It's coming. I'm going to show you some clips from our demo, which we built for Gamescom. We're going to Gamescom in less than 2 weeks to show a full demo, and the game is looking absolutely sweet. I'm going to show you some sound effects, some visual effects of our heroes. We're going to go into some like giveaway stuff, which is soon to come, and loads more. So I'll drop the link down below. I'll be doing a live premiere 3 p.m. UK time. Come and join us in the chat. Come and let us know what you think. But yeah, it's going to be a massive video. Let's check out the new champions. For a change, there's only a couple. There's only a couple to look at. So we're going to take a look at both of them and see what we think. 2 new ones added to the game as of next patch. So the first one here is going to be Bolint. Bolint, I was going to say, does he exist? Yes, he does. I like the flaming red eyes. Very cool. Massive old war hammer. Call it a hammer? I guess you do. Mallet. He's a Unity guy who's got the big thing on his back. He's ready for action. Okay, so he's an HP-based dude with a 22k base HP. It's kind of low for an HP base, or it's about the norm, but certainly not anything great in terms of driving damage numbers. 104 base speed. Double hitter. After the second hit, heals your allies by 5% of this champion's max HP. So if you get him up to like 100k with a big build, you're just going to give people a 5k heal on an A1. I suppose it's okay. 10% chance of an extra turn. Nothing too glamorous here, but it's not terrible either. The A2 attacks an enemy, can book up to 100% chance of putting decreased defense for 2 turns. After attacking the initial target, attacks all enemies, and again puts decreased defense on. Not sure why you don't just do an AoE decreased defense. What's the point? I don't know the point of it. What is the point of the staggered attack? Not sure. Not sure why you would want that to be 2 unless it's something to do with the rest of his kit. So his Unity guy then. So he has got here as a standard AoE double hit. Each hit has got a chance to stun. 100% chance on a 3 turn. So that alone is crazy control. Again, do you even need the each hit has got a chance? I guess if you've got some sort of affinity matchup going on, this means there's a really good chance that you actually get your affinity enemies or weak affinity enemies to get stunned. If we've got more people from this faction in the gang, before attacking, so if you've got 1, before attacking, 100% chance of removing all buffs. That's actually really solid. Probably doesn't work on Stone Skin though, still a 50-50, but everything else pretty solid. If there's 2 people in the mix, feels this champion's turn meter by 15% for each stun. So he becomes like a bit of an Armand's. He's going to get himself 60% turn meter if he stuns a wave of arena enemies, or like 75 if it's on like waves of enemies. That's really strong. So this is on a 3 turner, and it will cycle really quick because of this. And then the third one ignores resistance if you've got 3. That's quite weak compared to most of the 3 kind of like builds, mainly because just building accuracy up. I know it's hard to build accuracy early, but it's much easier later in the game. And this becomes quite an easy stat to build, especially if he's not someone who smacks super hard. But I don't know that yet. We've got a passive here. When an ally uses a multi-hit skill, each subsequent hit after the first deals more damage. So that's pretty interesting actually. So you get 15% more damage for like 2nd or 3rd or 4th hits, whatever, building up. Just trying to think where that's most relevant, but it's quite an interesting skill set anyway. So if you've got other people around, 1 person around, whenever an ally hits an enemy, 10% chance of placing a stun. That's pretty gross, actually. If there's 2 around, whenever an ally inflicts a crit, gives them some turn meter. And if there's 3 around, so that could be like a 20% turn meter gain for a nuker, for example, or 25. If there's 3 people around, Allies ignore 30% of defense against enemies under stun. So this is very arena focused, I would say. Very wave focused. Not really much boss action going on, but interesting. I can't see him breaking into metas and stuff. He's not like, you know, a Teox type of, oh my god, he's just going to bust the game. He's just like a normal dude. And then he's got arena as his aura in terms of speed and some accuracy as well for Skinwalkers. And in terms of other Skinwalkers that could like team up with him, who have we got here? We've got the Chicken. Uko's used quite a lot in arena. Nishak used a fair bit in arena as well. Ragash, mainly live arena. Leorius is good. Marius is good. Wukong's used a ton. So yeah, so there's a decent cast that could go alongside him. Yeah, okay. But for me, you know, out of the Unity ones we've seen so far, he is probably not that crazy. Let's have a look then at the new mythical. This is the second champion they've added. An orc. Pretty sweet looking. He's got these kind of like runes all over his body. Or this etching. Or maybe it's cuts. I don't know. He's bright red. He's been in the sun way too long, this guy. Way too long. I guess it's meant to be like a dragon soul. Maybe it's like a dragon symbol. Dragon teeth for these, you reckon? Or claws? But yeah, loads going on. Loads going on. Okay, so HP based in his base form. Let's just check the second form. Defense based in his second form. His defense goes up to an almighty 1600. Just check the second form out. Basically what he does is he just sets the light to himself and puts a few more clothes on. No wonder he's bright red. And in his base form HP, 23k. It's just not a lot. You know, you've got like 30kers out there. Anyway, A1, triple hits. Each hit chance to increase the duration of a burn. Pretty cool A1. A2, attacks all enemies. Instantly activates burns on enemies and allies. Interesting. Whenever a burn is activated on an enemy, by this skill, decrease their resistance. Whenever a burn is activated on an ally, increases their resistance. Okay, it's kind of whatever. Also fills the turn meter of all allies by 5% for each burn activated. That's quite interesting. So you get like a 20-25% turn meter fill for doing damage to the enemy. We then got the A3, places weaken and burn on all enemies. Also places burn on all allies. Cannot be blocked or resisted. Basically bypassing the laws of the game to get this one on, and gives a turn meter fill as well. And then the passive, each active burn placed by this champion increases their max HP up to by 25%. Burns placed on allies heal them instead of damaging them. Okay, that's pretty sweet. Pretty cool. Obviously, like there's stone skin everywhere in the meta right now, so more burners and arena style burners are quite important, especially ones that can just bypass all of the laws of the game. So yeah, that's quite interesting. Let's check out the second form then, which is defense based. As I say, he's got pretty big stats. Double hitter, each hit 35% chance of repeating once if the target's under a burn. Okay, A2, single target hit. If the initial target is under a burn, will repeat the attack on all enemies. This repeat attack will ignore defense. This might be a big hitter. We've got the A3. Attacks all enemies. Before attacking, you get increased defense, increased crit damage, then puts a provoke out there if they're under HP burn. If the target of the skill is a boss under HP burn, puts a provoke for 2 turns. Okay. Cannot be a weak hit when attacking burners. And his passive, all of this champion's skill will ignore 15% of the enemy defense if they're under a burn. Okay, I mean, I'm sure people will suss out whether he's going to be top tier or not. Burns are very strong in the game, especially when you get towards endgame. And they're also a good way of dealing with stone skin, specifically. Polymorph is still a thing, though. And if you can't just dodge polymorph, then, you know, you might be a sheep a lot of the time, certainly in, like, the endgame. Don't know. I'd say the two champions are a little bit, compared to the world of Raid Shadow Legends nowadays, they're just a bit average. That's saying a lot when I've just read those skill sets and they're bonkers, but I mean, Raid has just power crept into crazy land over the last 12 months. And yeah, I mean, for a mythical, he seems like he would be good, but I don't think he'd be one that I'd be super keen to get. Could be wrong. Maybe once we played around with him, we might think different things. And the Skinwalker looks cool, but again, not like the Unity guy that I'm really after getting compared to a lot of the other ones. So let me know what you think, though, down below. And yeah, I will be playing around with Noble and with Lady Aerith over the next couple of days. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you soon.